This is Bella Talks, and I am your host, K Bella, and this is where we talk about fitness, fashion, finance, and life. And I have a community leader. She is a dance guru. She is one of the best that can deal with my kids. Both my kids was under her leadership at Quality Life Center. I have none other than Miss Keesha Allen Thomas on the show. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy you're here. That was the whistle, y'all. Like this whistle, but yeah. How you do it again, Mom? Oh my gosh. Okay, so as we start off, we're gonna go into tell us a little about yourself.
So I am originally from Brooklyn, New York.
And we did not notice your accent, but yeah. You still got the Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
We over here. But my entire family is from Jamaica.
Ooh.
First generation American. Right?
Ooh, how is that growing up?
It's what we know.
But I'm just saying, Brooklyn, Jamaican, how is that? It was like a match made in heaven being in Brooklyn and being Jamaican.
I mean, when you grow up, what you know. So we always travel to Jamaica every year.
Okay.
And then Brooklyn is like a melting pot. So you have Americans, you have Jamaicans, you have Haitians, you have a lot of Caribbean people.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't, I mean, it was amazing because there's so much culture there.
I know.
So it was just, when you from Brooklyn, it's like everything.
Are you like a B-girl? Like,
Of course, you didn't see the show?
I did see the show. I mean, I've been with, how long has it been? Like, Lyric's 16. She was going to Quality Life since she was like 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So B-girl is like that Brooklyn B-dance girl.
Ooh.
Brooklyn break dance, you know. So of course I'm a B-girl.
Okay. Well, how did it all start? Because I know you're like into performing arts and all that stuff. How did it start?
So when I was in middle school, there was a drama club there, and one of my classmates auditioned for the drama club, and she made it, and everybody was like, we didn't know about the drama club, so we all auditioned, and we all made it, and we started theater, and that turned into dancing and stepping. And I went to the Performing Arts High School, LaGuardia, which is the school that Fame was.
Really?
So I went to that high school.
Wow.
And dance, and I had an agent, and so I did commercials, and I did a lot of extra work in movies as a teenager. So that was like my life.
Because weren't you on the movie Above the Rim?
I was.
How was that?
It was amazing. So there's a lot of things you don't see when people make a movie.
Right.
So I literally was a cheerleader in all of the basketball scenes that were in a gym. And so my part on the movie was so small, but it literally took like 4 days just to record that part.
Oh my.
So we're there from 5 a.m. until maybe 10 p.m. And
wow.
It's just doing the same thing over and over again. But your name is in the credits, you get paid for it, you get to keep, like the uniform, and then you of course get to meet all of the people there. So I have pictures with Tupac and the Wayans brothers.
Wow. How was it working with Tupac?
I didn't really work with him.
Oh.
So
but you were still there in the present.
He was
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He would literally sit in a chair while he didn't have a part. And one day we were standing and he was walking by, and I'm just so I do things on instinct. So I was like, can I get a picture with you? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, now? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, for real? And he was like,
yeah, just do it.
And it was just like that simple, but he was just very what you see on the TV, that's not what I saw. He was just very calm, cool, collected, by himself.
Really? I mean, I have heard stories where when he's on set, he's very professional.
Yeah. Now the Wayans brothers, too, and they were who they are on TV.
Really?
It was laughing the entire time.
What kept you going and what inspired you to continue with performing? I know you said that was your life, but let's fast forward coming down to Florida. What kept you going?
So I have a passion for the arts. Like how you have a passion for fashion.
Right.
So when I graduated high school, I kind of started to slowly come out of it because being in that industry is very competitive.
Yes.
You get a million rejections before you get a yes. So you have to have thick skin. You have to have a drive to keep going and doing things. But once I left high school and I started working, I slowly started to lose interest in it. And then when I had my son, I realized that that's not something that I could do and be a good parent.
Right.
I knew that I had to stop the industry part of it. However, I still taught dance in New York. I taught theater while I was pregnant after I had my son. And I would do it in after-school programs, the same that I did when I moved here. So when I moved here, I interviewed for Quality Life as an academic, so I did a lot of tutoring. There was a person that was teaching dance when I was here, named Miss Tangela Bad. And so when she relocated, I slowly started to incorporate the arts into the after-school program. And because it was something that I've always done, it was just so easy to do it. And little by little, I just started to expand more and more and more my passion.
So being pregnant and teaching dancing, that's gotta be a lot. Cause when I see you dance, like you put your all into it. So being pregnant, like did we stop at a certain?
No. So as long as you're doing it before you're pregnant,
it doesn't.
Right, the doctor said that I can keep. So I was doing African dance. I was 8 months pregnant dancing. And then I stopped maybe December, and I had my son in January.
Wow. Okay, so we're fast forward, we're at Quality Life. So you're taking over and you're doing the dance program there. Now, from the time that you started that to now, because I know everybody that went to the show, and if you're on the live, if you went to the show, you were in for a treat. How was that growth? Because coming to Fort Myers, the Dunbar area, we're not able to see that. Yeah, so we don't see that. So how was it trying to build that program and keep it and have people or the kids enthusiastic about it?
It was a little bit frustrating because coming from New York, everything is so culturally motivated.
Right.
You go to church and there's dancing, like serious dancing in church. You go to schools, whatever you want to do in New York, if you want to be a dancer or a nurse, there's a school specifically for that.
Wow.
There's, if you want to dance, 3-year-olds are taking dance and they're good. 3-year-olds are doing piano. So it's just so much diversity there, and Broadway's there, and there's independent performing arts groups, and there's Dance Theater of Harlem, there's Dance Theater of Brooklyn. There's so many different things there. So coming here and wanting to still continue my passion and not really seeing it, it was a little bit frustrating, and it made me not really pursue it as much. So I was working and I was students, and after a while, as I slowly started to incorporate it, I realized how much I missed it.
Right.
But also at one point, I was by myself teaching it. So whenever we did a show, I would have to be the creative mind behind everything, and I would have to train people. So Miss Monique worked with me for many years.
Right.
Helped learn the dancing, but then she would incorporate her gift, which was singing.
Right.
And so Miss Angela started to write the scripts. So the growth has been that people started to help me.
Wow.
And so this year was very special because I had 2 people. I had Jalissa, Miss Jalissa, who is the dance teacher throughout the year, because I didn't have the time to focus on dance. So her gift is dance. And then I also had Mr. Kamor, who was the break dancer that you saw in the show.
Yes, he did so good. And my gosh.
He's from Brooklyn.
Wow. Brooklyn.
So we were able to spread out the responsibility of dancing. And so my role shifted as the dance teacher, the creative person, where I really had a vision. You know, with everything that's happening in Florida with trying to remove Black history.
Oh my goodness.
And the voting.
Right.
And just the antics that come with politics.
Yes.
At some point throughout the year, every year before the summer camp show, something hits me. When it was Lion King, the movie had just come out again.
Right.
You know, when we did Annie had just came out with Jamie Foxx. So something always hits me, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. And so this year, Miss Jalissa put on a show in March for Black History, and she incorporated some of those dances that you saw in the show, and it made me just kind of think, wow, this is so perfect to redo this and do it more in depth to teach people about the real history. And so it gave me a chance to kind of think about how I wanted to approach it. And of course I have to be sensitive because I don't want to offend people.
Right.
And I want to keep the show within an hour and a half because people leave if I have an intermission.
Of course.
So I'm trying to just pick and choose what I want to do to word it the right way. And then I meet with my team and I say, I want this song, I want this song. And I give them the creativity to kind of what they do best. And when I see something that I want or I don't like, I'm like, can we change that? Or can we do it this way?
Right.
And so to have that feedback with people who are artistic because they understand.
Good. So I want to take this time out because I know that in the show you did say that you wanted to have this pretty much year round, not just for the summer. You want to be able to have it year round. I'm going to have you talk to my live and let them know how they can contribute. I have an actual donation on my page. So if you want to say any words of how it can contribute to get that to where we can actually do it year round for Quality Life Center, because the kids love it. They feel like they're, a part of something, and the end of the year and when you see it coming together, it's almost like my baby did that. Because legit, I was like, okay, this is what y'all do at Quality Life, because when he's home, it's like you don't get nothing out of him. But when I seen the little kick, the little swirl, and the little smooth walk, I'm like, okay, now this is what we do.
So that's what the arts do. The arts pulls out the creativity, and it gives children, it gives them discipline because they have to practice.
Right.
And it gives them self-esteem because they start off not knowing something, and even if they don't master it, they've come such a long way that they become confident, and they become even more confident to keep trying.
Right. Very much.
And so with me, with the summer program, every student that attends Quality Life Center is performing in the show, and we had a lot of students that resisted it, but it's a group effort.
Right.
A lot of time we give our children a choice to do things, but when you come to the Q, we make it clear that in the summertime, every child participates in the show to some extent. Now, those who love dance, they get to do it more. You saw some of our girls who have been there for years. Right. But it's a group effort, and so we had students that didn't want to do it, and the group encouraged them, and once they did that, they felt like a team. So I always tell people, if you want to help out, there's 3 T's. There's time, talent, or treasure. So if you feel like you maybe can help teach dance or help with the arts in any way, you can give back your time, and that incorporates your talent, and your treasure is your money. So money makes the world go round. We have to rent the facility, we have to get costumes, there's different things that can help. So if you're interested in donating, you can donate to Quality Life Center or through Bella Talks, and we have a website, www.qualitylifecenter.org, and if you're interested in giving to the arts, just make sure you put a note that says performing arts or dance program.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to end the live here. So like you said, if you guys want to donate, you can do it through the donation that I have on my page under Bella Talks, or you can do it directly through the Quality Life Center. So I'm going to end my live, and you guys can see the rest of it on Bella Talks YouTube channel. All right. So what can we plan to see from you in the future? Because first of all, I know you had a lot of hats at Quality Life. Because, honey, the hats that you had, it was pretty much where the only thing that you didn't do was, I don't know, like you done everything.
The finances. I don't do accounting. I can collect money and I can do like very limited in finances, but I've kind of done everything.
Yes, and I mean, I'm just like, what else? Every time I go to a parent meeting, it's like, and Keesha is the new, I'm like, well, dang, what else is she gonna take on? And then when we come to these performances, they're like flawless. I'm like, when do you sleep?
I sleep well.
So what can we plan to see from you in the future?
So I feel like after this show, I think we have to really present more shows that have really substance that relate to the community. So also I feel like my role at the Q has been more of an advocate for the parents. So you know that I've taught how to clean up your credit, taught how to purchase houses, I've taught people to learn about the 504 plans and IEPs for students that have any type of diagnosis. So now we have this issue with the buses that are not stopping at after schools, and we've been in touch with the school board, and they're trying to help us to make sure that we get the resources we need. So I feel like my role is crucial in making sure that parents understand their rights as parents, and to make sure that we're getting the resources that we need, because it's all about communication.
Yes,
and so,
absolutely.
Hopefully we can come to a resolution, and if we don't, then I have to come up with a solution. So I think one of my biggest assets is that I'm a problem solver. I kind of think outside the box.
Right.
If this doesn't work, then what do we do now?
Right.
What was their reasoning for that, not sending the buses back?
I'm not sure the reasoning, so all I can say is that they are trying to work with us. So I'm just waiting on a response.
All right. Well, how can we get in contact with you?
So you can reach me on Facebook at Keesha Allen Thomas, is in parentheses on Facebook, or I'm on Instagram, KEEWEE126, or my email at qualitylife is kallen@qlcswfl.org.
So if you are willing, if you need to reach out to her based off of trying to get your child into quality life or child advocacy, because she's really good with that, I will have her information on the bottom of the screen where you can get in contact with her. If you had anything to say to your younger self, what would it be?
I would say that the sky is the limit. Sometimes people feel like they can't do things just because they don't know how.
Right.
And young people always limit themselves. You know, if you have a child that wants to become a nurse, it's because their parents or somebody in their family is a nurse.
Right.
So if you don't see that and you love nursing, sometimes kids think that it's impossible.
Right.
And so I think that because I've accomplished so much in my time here by setting goals and being surrounded by the right people,
Right.
that if I would have known then what I know now,
Yes.
I feel like I would be such a different person. You know, like my dreams would have been bigger, my impact would have been bigger, everything would have been bigger.
But sometimes everything happens for a reason. So I feel like all the chips fell because I feel that God needed you here for our babies. Because if you would have got too big, I wouldn't have known Keesha.
Right. And also there's a process, like you said, because being under Mr. Muhammad's leadership,
Shout out to Mr. Muhammad.
shout out to Mr. Muhammad, but that really humbled me, because coming from New York is so boisterous. Everything is loud.
Right,
and
right.
He taught me how to have integrity and to be disciplined and to listen. And I did not have that. So being under his leadership taught me an aspect of life that I probably would not have learned anywhere else.
Right.
And so I'm super grateful for my path in life. However, I want children to know that they can dream and they really can accomplish that.
Absolutely. And like she said, just putting yourself around people that are in the path that you want to take is a very, very big deal, because like she said, when you want to do something, you feel like it's so far away because you haven't seen anybody that's in your circle that is doing that. But just if you communicate or get in touch with the right people to get you where you need to go, the sky's the limit.
Or just ask. Sometimes
Yeah,
all
ask.
they need to do is say,
ask.
how do I do this?
And why are we so afraid to ask?
I don't know. But
I don't understand.
my mom always said the worst somebody could say
is no. But I think we're afraid of no because we feel like that's the end all be all. But like you said, you gotta have, sometimes you get a lot of no's before you get a yes.
But you always get failure before you get success as well.
Yes,
So saying getting a no is a part of failure, but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's the end, because your no could really mean not now.
Right. And it could be God's way of keeping you from whatever's behind that door.
I agree.
Sometimes rejection is protection.
Hey, that's a t-shirt.
That is. Yeah. Do you have any words for what? Do you have anything to say to Bella Talks?
So I would say to Bella Talks that you do so many different things with your clothing line, with your lashes, with your massage, with your TV show. I feel like your impact can really be tripled throughout the community if people really just new Coco because
I
you know
know.
being a strong person, a lot of people think of us as unapproachable.
Approachable, yes.
We have to create an atmosphere to where we're reaching out to the students and saying, hey, are you interested in fashion, or hey, are you interested in this, and just making it realistic. So a part of the show was living the impossible dream. So there's a lot of students that may want to do fashion and they don't know where to start, and it can be having a fashion show and them being a model, or you teaching them how to sew something, or
So you heard it first. We're having a fashion show at Quality Life Center.
just tell me the day, I'll be there.
And for my Q babies, if you want to be in the show, let me know, because I have a lot of stuff coming out and we can put y'all in the show.
And understanding that it's not just one thing. So being in fashion doesn't mean that you have to sew.
No.
I mean, like,
Because,
there's
baby,
so many
I don't
roles.
sew.
Right. And, you know, being in the arts is not just about dancing. Because
Right.
my role, even though I did dance, my role was more writing the script and making
Right.
sure that the scene looked the way I wanted to do, especially the fight scene. Like, that was
Yes.
really, and I was like, wait, that's the picture. Yes, that's it. And when I got it, it was like, ooh. So it was just like understanding that so many aspects to the world. You know, it's not limited to nursing or design. Like, our students can be entrepreneurs. They can be an astronaut if they want. Like, the sky
Right.
is literally
Yes.
the limit. But you have to work hard. You have
Yes.
to understand the importance of school. You have to set goals. You have to understand that failure is a part of success.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so many people think that all of these movie stars and rappers, they just made it. No, they
Failed, yes.
so many times. And you have to just get up and keep going.
Right.
And I think that we as parents, adults, we need to show that just what you said, the failures. How many times did it take this person to become this person?
Right.
How many times did it take that person to become that person? We need to show the failures in that person so that the children can say, oh, really?
Right.
So
So they won't think
right.
that, oh, I failed, then I can't do it again.
So that
Right.
was part of the show. I went extreme with the slave ship, right?
Yes.
And I went extreme with the auction block.
Right.
But then,
Yes.
the resilience that came out of a people who were kings and queens,
Right.
who died on the slave ship,
Right.
who were sold on the auction block, and who were hung from trees, and now they're conquerors. And
Right.
presidents and vice presidents.
Let me tell you, and
So that is the message, that if they can go through that
Okay.
and become a people who we are,
Right.
like, what is the excuse? Why are our students failing reading and math? And why, when they go to college, why are they struggling and taking remedial classes? Like, there is no excuse for it, but we have to understand where we came from
Exactly.
to understand
where we're going.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And so now that the seed is planted, a lot of these students are going home and they're looking up what the ships looked like, or they're looking up, was there really African American kings and queens?
So okay, because I know when I was in school, a lot of it was, I'm not interested. And sometimes I feel like when you deal with kids nowadays, especially with social media being so powerful, I feel that maybe people, but I know it's not going to happen, it should. But like you said, in New York, you have different school for different things. Why can't they have stuff here like that to show, okay, if you're creative, maybe you need to go to an art school, even though they have like Cypress Lake and stuff like that for the arts. But if you think this way, maybe you might go into this school. This school specializes in that type of stuff. Like, everybody is not cookie cutter where we have to all fit in this one box, because I don't feel like kids learn like that. Adults don't learn like that.
Well, that's why you have these programs like Quality Life.
Right.
Because you get the supplemental education, but then you get the cultural awareness.
Right.
And I think that social media and having the internet is a great asset. And we use it for so many things. There's no reason that we can't use it to find out anything we want. So
Right.
if Black history is not being taught, all you have to do is Google
Exactly.
and teach it.
Right.
If kids want to know, all they have to do is do that. I'm willing to have sessions, but I have to have the participation.
Right,
I'm
right.
willing to, and I don't think that I know everything about it. I know what I've been taught, but I can create the atmosphere to have the conversations and to have people to come and talk about it and to help the children understand why education is so important. Because now you have to have a degree to get a decent job.
Of course, yeah.
Right. When our students graduate high school, if they don't want to go to college, that's fine. They can go to trade school.
Right.
Right. There's an outlet for them to get to be wherever they want to be, but sometimes they just don't know. But we have to create the conversations. The people that know have to teach it. And sometimes that means saying, I know you don't like dance, but you're going to do it.
Right.
So it can mean, I know you don't like math, but you have to do it.
Right.
I know you don't like history, but you have to learn it because this is why it is important. The reason for history is so we don't repeat
it.
the
Right.
mistakes. So if we can learn about everything that's in the books, we can learn about the stuff that's not in the books as well.
Right. Right. Like that. Do you have any words, Mother? Well, I'm going to end it on those words. Those words were very powerful. And here I am, K Bella, and this is Miss Keesha, and this is Bella Talk.